Welcome to Mitten Music.
We traveled to Jackson, Michigan to attend GIG, the Art of Michigan Music, which highlights visual artists in music, such as photographers, videographers, and graphic designers. The event was held at Art 634 in Jackson, where we had the opportunity to talk to 4 photographers: Isabel Dowell, Brandon Nagy, Terry Moore, and Nathan Purchase. Each of them brought us a different perspective on their work on taking photos of live music, touched on the photo pit, what type of equipment they use, how they got involved, and some of their favorite moments of taking live music photos. Here are their stories about why photography is so important to them and how it's important to live music and capturing those moments that you remember so vividly. We got Terry Moore.
Yep.
And you wrote Trippin' Terry?
I'm Trippin' Terry.
Trippin' Terry.
I do photos.
So Ryan, we've got Brandon Nagy.
Brandon Nagy. Hi.
Yeah. You do lots of things in the art world.
I do.
It's amazing. You do graphic design.
Graphic design, photography, illustration when the opportunity arises, and a little bit of improv theater.
Nathan Purchase?
Correct. Just like you buy something.
So you're a photographer.
Yep.
That's your main thing that you're highlighting here today, right?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So we got Isabel Dowell from Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
Photographer.
Yes.
So how long you been doing photography?
I started when I was 15. I was gifted my first camera as a birthday present from my aunt, just starter camera from someone off of Craigslist.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of the first time I was able to take photography classes at my high school. So senior year of high school, it was mostly film focused,
Okay.
but there was a little bit of a digital aspect to it. But kind of backing up just a little bit, I feel like I've always been a really creative person. So growing up, I've always loved music. I was really into a lot of bands, a lot of concerts. My parents would often take me to concerts, and just after some point they were tired of buying tickets. So they would just be like, we'll pick you up at this corner. Do not go home with any strangers.
Yeah.
So I just would go to concerts with friends. I mean, I don't even remember how at that point I was affording these concerts, but I was just going to so many concerts and I loved it. And then when I was 15, I started really getting into photography, and maybe a year or two after that started realizing I could blend the two. And go to concerts, take pictures, and then stay after to enjoy the concert. And that just was kind of a no-brainer for me.
Perfect mix.
I know.
Right? Yeah.
I no longer had to pay for tickets in exchange for photos. I
Right.
could now go to all these concerts I've ever wanted for free.
Yeah. All right. So how long you been doing photography?
Since 2012.
Okay.
You've been doing them for a bit.
Yeah. So I was in college at Michigan State. My junior year, I kind of had like this eye-opening experience where I went into my academic advisor the next day after this, and I said, hey, I'm going to switch my major to photography. I was previously going for criminal justice to become a fire investigator.
Okay.
That is a swing adjustment there.
Yeah, for sure.
And what was his response when he said that?
He's like, are you sure you're a junior?
Like, did you smoke some drugs yesterday? Just come up with this idea? Or
Yeah, kind of. But yeah, kind of did. But yeah, so I went in, switched to photography, and the rest is history.
Some of your photography is around highlighting music, but but that's not entirely where you're focused on, is it?
No, it is. It's my primary for sure.
Okay.
But I photograph. I've done weddings. I've done, weird abstract stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I do gravitate towards live music for sure.
And why is that? Why did you?
Just music in general has, in a lot of ways, saved my life. Just the connection of being in a crowd with that many people. It's a beautiful thing. But yeah, it's the best thing on earth. So
Yeah,
chance
it
I
is
can
an
be part of.
experience. So you're with everybody is like in the same direction, and they're all excited about this one thing,
Right.
and that's hard to find in a big crowd.
Yeah, for sure.
And
yeah.
and you get to capture that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's I've had this evolution. First, I started going to concerts. I was like, I need to get closer to the stage, and then I became a photographer. I was in the pit, and then I was a tour manager for about 10 years.
Oh,
Okay,
that's cool.
And I did some booking agency stuff for a couple different bands, and then COVID hit, and I'm working on my own music now.
Oh, really?
Oh,
So I have an album coming out on December 1st.
What?
It's my debut album. So
Okay.
that's
Is it a solo project or
Yeah.
for the band? Okay.
Yep. Solo project. I have a couple guest features on it. It's like hip hop soul kind of feel.
Okay.
Ooh.
So that's
Nice.
exciting.
It started off, my buddy was a rail rider. I'm not about getting pushed around the crowd, so I hung back, started eating acid and mushrooms and trying to smoke joints with the bands, getting some cool spots. And I'm like, oh, I got a camera. I'll just bring my camera. I've been doing photography since high school
Okay.
and never shared it with nobody. I started getting some good shots, and artists were like, oh, send me that, send me that. Got tired of sending emails, got a Facebook page going. It's my thing. It's my guilty pleasure. I love
So
it.
it sounds like you had this passion for a while, but you didn't really show the world or share it that much with people.
Yeah, I didn't think anybody really cared. Yeah, I was doing it for myself.
Yeah. What's your reaction to that when people start to enjoy that and just like you do? Like you're like, they love the shot like I do?
Yeah, it's overwhelming. It's unexpected. It's a little overwhelming to me. It's I don't know how to process it sometimes.
Oh.
Sometimes it makes my day. My phone will blow up after I make a good post, and seeing everybody use it, it's a cool feeling.
Ooh.
I enjoy it.
I like
It's
that.
rewarding. I have a hard time talking.
Photography has been a gateway for me for so many adventures and meeting interesting people. And none of that would have been possible without my camera. I can remember my life pre-photography and post-photography. I've been very heavy into music photography for about, I don't know, a little over 10 years, maybe about 2012. I got started with that. And that has led me to meet so many interesting musicians and personalities and go on adventures. And before that, I was very much focused on graphic design, and I'm in my studio on my computer all day, every day.
Mhm.
So photography has gotten me out in the world and enjoying what there is out there. In high school, like I didn't care about photography. Like go in a dark room and fumble with chemicals for a while. I wasn't interested. But pursuing graphic design led me to work for the Detroit iHeartRadio stations, and they needed digital content creators. And within that gig, photography was necessary. So I learned photography on the job, and I was made aware that working for a radio station, you could maybe get a media pass to a show.
Ooh.
And so I started taking terrible photos, but I recognized the value of that opportunity, and I hustled hard to get really good really fast and to not blow that opportunity. Within a short time frame of me picking up a camera that was given to me by the radio station, 106.7 The D at the time, Wheels now. It allowed me to go like see Kiss right away, like right out of nowhere. I mean, this might make people jealous. Like I didn't even know how to really take good photos yet, and I'm covering Kiss concerts. It was, I just didn't feel worthy, and
That's
I wanted
awesome.
to make sure that I was worthy to be at these shows. So I learned hard fast.
Well, yeah, I know. Kidding. That's why you learned so hard so fast. Your opportunity to do something badass was right out the gate.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
It's a lot of luck.
It's not. Yeah, that's not a typical situation where you're able to be put in a position where you don't necessarily have the true skill yet. I mean, at the level that they're probably wanting in the end, but you were able to take that and use that as your driver to get you to that place. Some people could have just squandered that away really quickly. Like, I got to see a couple shows. I didn't do very good at this, and there's a reason why I'm not hired for another gig. but you worked hard to
Really
keep
hard.
that position, that you had the opportunity, and you you took advantage of it.
I'd like to think that like my background in design gave me a good eye for composition, but man, those first 2 months maybe of learning how to use that camera, I was fumbling with the settings on every show. It was pretty embarrassing what I was publishing at the time, but I tried to learn real quick.
What were some of those learnings? I mean, what did you learn from those few shows and how to at least approach a show differently for a while?
I got used to like what settings might be appropriate. For any live show, the camera settings can vary wildly because spotlights can be bright, the stage can be really dark, and even just moving the direction of your camera can change your whole settings entirely. And so from show to show to show, I got more accustomed to what would be the appropriate settings, juggling the ISO, juggling the aperture, juggling the shutter frame rate and stuff like that. And so it really just took, I don't know, getting 10 to 12, maybe 20 shows behind me to kind of get comfortable what my usual settings would be. And some of the technology at the time, I wasn't able to take enough photos to get, 100 shots and maybe keep one. I'd take maybe 20 and throw away 20. So
Yeah.
it was a learning curve of taking more shots than I need and juggling with all the different settings on the camera. There was a lot of garbage. I took a lot of garbage. Man, I can give a lot of credit to the people I was photographing with at the time. Like some of these names might sound familiar, but like Ken Settle, Scott Legato, very seasoned photographers. And I could look at their work the next day, what they had published, and compare mine to that and be like, okay, here's the same moment that we shot. What's different? How can I do better? How can I do what they did? So I was able to learn on the fly, not just because of like YouTube tutorials, but because of what they were doing and comparing the same scenario.
How do you have certain ways you get connected with different shows, different bands?
Yeah, when I was starting out, I really got my photography career started out in Grand Rapids when I was a freshman in college. So I was in a club that put on, at Grand Valley State University, put on a spring concert. And of the group that I was in, I was the only one that knew how to use a camera. And I had like dabbled in music photography, but nothing serious at that point. So that was my first like official big show. And it kind of spiraled after that. Just anybody that was coming through Grand Rapids, especially at smaller venues like the Stash or the Pyramid Scheme, like reaching out to the artists specifically and asking them if they were looking for a photographer or looking to have someone capture the event. And usually they were more than happy, especially at a smaller level, to have artists, photographers that would promote them on social media in that way. So that's kind of how I started. And then in order to get into like bigger shows and festivals, there's a variety of online publications that I'm a part of. And in exchange for like the ticket and the photo pass, I'll take the pictures and then those photos will be shared on a bigger platform, either in like a print or an online magazine. I would definitely say reaching out to also like local artists is going to really help build that portfolio. After COVID, that's kind of my avenue back into the photography world. Is there were so many artists in Michigan that kind of were down and out over COVID and didn't really have any material or photos. So they were just looking for anybody that was looking to create. And as a photographer that obviously didn't have any opportunities either during COVID, it was just kind of connecting with anybody that you can find. And the local scene is the way to go. If there's a local scene anywhere, that's like my favorite place. I've made so many friends, so many connections, so many constant like opportunities through just local artists or friends of friends, word of mouth, and it spreads so fast.
So is that how you kind of got connected with Low Phase? And because you worked with them and went on tour with them, right?
Yes. Yeah. So Low Phase is kind of a funny story because I was working for Audio Tree Presents, which is now I think rebranded as Kickstand Productions. So when I was working with Audio Tree, they had hired me to do, I believe it was Low Phase, Fabies, and Cosmo Nights.
We love all three of those bands. That's awesome.
They're all incredible, incredible people, incredible musicians. So yeah, I had done that job and sent the photos to Low Phase, and they were one of the first of those bands to have another gig. So they were playing the Easttown Street Fair, and just asked them on Instagram. They had followed me back after I sent them pictures of the audio tree event. And I was like, hey, I saw you're playing Easttown. If you don't have a photographer, like I'd love to come and take pictures and do some portraits as well. So that's kind of how we got connected. And then like time went on, and I believe I went to coffee with Marley of the group just to kind of like pick her brain, get to know her. And now she's my closest friend.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
So
awesome.
It's really crazy sometimes how things like that work.
What is it that when you go to photograph a show, what are you what's your angle? What's your style?
You look for a general, like a general idea of what you want. You don't really pick a specific, but this could have the potential for a good shot. You have a little burst, and if you get the shot you're looking for, if you're in, everything's clear, and I'm big on the eyes. I like having the eyes clear.
Oh, interesting.
But if you get everything right and the lighting's right, because they're moving around.
Yeah,
and
you
Right.
can't
the
control.
lighting's changing, and you don't know what you're gonna get.
You have to be like fluid and flexible and paying attention, I feel like, a lot.
Yeah.
Do you with movement a lot, do you kind of pick a spot for a while, try to get your shots, and then you move? Because moving and taking shots is probably not the thing you want to do.
I try to think like one area of the photo pit that I'll be in, because I've been getting passes and stuff now.
Yeah.
And I'll be in the photo pit, like in the center, and I'll get my shots from there of who I can, and I'll move off to the side, and I'll get shots from there, and I'll work my way around and try to circle back and try to make sure I get shots of all the band members, some crowd shots, some rail riding shots if I can,
Okay. Yeah.
crowd surfing shots. If those are awesome. I started off with a Nikon D5600, but it's a crop sensor. It wasn't doing good in like low light focus, and I switched it up. Got a D610 Nikon. Put a 50 millimeter lens on there. That's all I use. A 50 millimeter 1.8.
Wow.
That's all I use.
You found your sweet spot.
Yeah,
it works.
It's what I can afford.
Yeah.
Something about that 50 millimeter, man. I get so many incredible shots, but especially the in your face shots.
Yeah.
I get a lot of them. A lot of play from the musicians, and that's what I live for.
Yeah. The up close face shots.
Yeah, where they're coming right in at you. I love it.
My iPhone's been amazing. Some people say the best camera is the one you got, and that's true. But professionally, I stick to Canon.
Yeah.
Mostly because Canon's fantastic and it's really expensive to change.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because I grew up going to concerts and just idolizing the artists on stage and just enjoying my time, I try and create pictures that almost are what you remember in your mind. So the colors are a little brighter, maybe it's a little sparkly, it's kind of dreamlike. There's just a little bit more like oomph into it, where it's like, oh, that's exactly how I remember it. Just the energy of it, the atmosphere of it, trying to capture like what it looks like in your mind as a memory, just a great memory.
Wow.
So I love amping up colors. I love adding a little extra something if I can.
That's cool. That makes sense.
Yeah, trying to find some more like diversive angles if the kind of stage allows. Focusing on details is a really big thing, because there's some artists that put so much time and energy into their set design, and I feel like sometimes people focus so much on the artist, and like everything in the background gets lost. So I like to focus on the whole picture as well. Challenge myself a little bit, because I feel like there's a different aspect when you really love an artist. You like know the music, you know what's coming next. You've maybe seen TikToks or Instagram videos, and you can try and figure out like, oh, they're going to do this trick or this like thing on stage that everyone likes. But sometimes there's a like spontaneity of artists that I'm not super familiar with, of just, I don't know what they're going to do next. And I also don't know what I'm going to capture. And sometimes you get some really great photos. Sometimes it does happen that you're like, I guess I could have had a free night, but I wouldn't know otherwise.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
Fair.
And then when it comes to portraits, my like lead up is just trying to make the artist feel as comfortable as possible. And when I got started, I guess I had thought that because these artists were on stage in front of 20 to 2,000 to 20,000 people, they would be comfortable in front of a camera, but that isn't always the case. So just trying to make them feel like super comfortable, allowing them to have some input on it. I'm not really great at vocalizing how I want people to move.
Mm.
So I'll always come with like a Pinterest board or some kind of inspiration that has the vibe of the artist, maybe the energy or what their music gives off, and trying to show them like, here's kind of what I had. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Should we switch gears? And just trying to work in a way that's like comfortable, but also collaborative for them.
I like to capture that raw emotion. You know, when I'm in a photo pit, I hear camera shutters going click, 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 click.
Mhm.
And I'm the guy that's down there. You know, I frame up my shot and I'll wait until that one moment. And that's when I'll take that shot.
You're specifically trying to choose something. You're
Right.
not just, let's see what I get, or this looks cool,
and then they'll go back and they'll have to go through thousands of photos
right.
to find a couple
And you're like,
that they like.
Yeah.
I snapped a couple. I got the thing I wanted right here. This is perfect.
So when that moment comes, are you doing a little bit more of that click, 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 just to try to get them? Because you might miss
maybe one or two
hair.
shots.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because you could be off a hair maybe or something to get.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, I've been shooting long enough.
You know when it's.
I feel like I have this kind of sense of when I want to get that shot. You know,
I know I can go to a show and shoot off 3,000 photos in a night with 3 or 4 bands, and I'll sit there and cull through them and edit what I want and pick through them and narrow it down. I cannot imagine doing that with film.
Well, you wouldn't
That
be able to
would
do
be-
3,000 shots. That would cost you like $1,000.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah, just the film alone,
Yeah,
right?
you have. It's a whole different level.
Yeah, it's
So that's a good point. Like if you think about the old days,
Oh,
like before all this, like
old
real
days.
talent.
like a photographer had to been really good and selective of when they took a shot.
I still shoot film.
You do shoot real film?
Yeah,
Okay.
so like in college, they made us start with film.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where that my process kind of developed.
That makes sense.
Because it makes you slow down and think about what you're shooting, right? So
Yeah.
Good call though, Jeff, because that is the two separate ends of thinking about a digital 3,000 pictures for one show versus a film 25 shots or 50, I mean, or whatever.
Yeah.
And but then you have to go like, now this guy has to flip through a bunch of pictures, but editing process might be a lot easier. You might have to spend more work on creating the photo itself, right?
Yeah, I think so.
In the dark room, and there's time and patience involved and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, I definitely shoot digital too.
Yeah, but it sounds like you really like film.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
And do you like bring both sets of cameras with you when you go to?
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, live music, it's tough now just because film has kind of died off a little bit. It's making a resurgence now.
Yeah.
But there's not so many film stocks that allows you to shoot in low light situations.
Yeah, it can be trickier.
So I, digital helps with that aspect of things.
Like a daytime festival or something, man. You got all sunny day.
Yeah, most festivals I'll bring a couple rolls of film and I'll shoot a few rolls.
Sweet.
Yeah. That's neat. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. You've got the dual for, but the fact that you gotta be disciplined and patient to find that right shot, that takes a huge skill.
I got a good one from Michigan Metal Fest this last year, and it was a girl crowd surfing for her first time ever.
Ooh.
And she was coming up over to the security, and you see the smile on her face, and she is so lit up.
But notable is some of the earlier ones in my career, like Kiss It DTE was a big one for me because it was my biggest show at the time, and it left such an impression on me, feeling the anxiety of not being a great photographer, but having this legendary band and being a little bit ignorant of etiquette in the pit.
We've heard about photography etiquette a little bit.
Yeah. There's some things you shouldn't do. One of the things I did, I hate to admit it, but for like the Kiss show, they had all these like air vents or something like in the pit. And I really wanted to get a shot of Gene, but he was way over to stage right. And so I had to climb over this stuff, and I would never do that now. But I was climbing over stage equipment to get a picture of him because he was far away. And I got an amazing shot that I'm so proud of. It's still in my portfolio.
Did anybody spank you for doing that?
No, but I'm sure
you got looks.
I'm sure the staff was
Who's this new
happy with me if
who's this newbie
seen it. And,
crawling over a gear?
if Scott Legato was looking at me, he'd definitely give me an earful. Rolling Stones were playing Comerica. I was still pretty much a newbie at the time, getting a little better, but didn't have the equipment I needed to get the shots I want. But something about like Mick Jagger being 6 feet from me and me being pretty new to concert photography and even attending concerts in general, like I just hadn't done that much up until then.
You forgot you had the camera in your hand.
Pretty much.
I guessed
Pretty
it.
much.
I guessed it.
My jaw was on the floor. Just seeing this guy who's larger than life, like running up and down the stage, and he's just feet from me, and I'm there for free.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. That is.
It's just,
Whew.
it's so incredible to be that close to people you've idolized for so many years.
Yeah.
And sometimes people say, like, don't meet your heroes. Well, I don't have to meet them, but I can be really close, and that's pretty great.
Yeah, fair enough.
Their low phase is definitely. I don't think I'd have half the opportunities I have in Grand Rapids if I didn't get started with
That's
low
cool.
phase.
That's sweet.
So I really appreciate them, and just having them as friends is incredibly cool. Other opportunities, I love festivals. I love the fast-paced nature of like 3 to 4 days of just running around with a bunch of other photographers. Pitchfork has been my favorite. I did that 2 or 3 times. They no longer have Pitchfork anymore in Chicago.
That was a magazine too, a music magazine.
Yes,
Pitchfork.
yes.
Oh, is that?
Yes.
Did they? I didn't even realize they had a festivals.
Yeah,
I never
they would
knew
do
that.
in Chicago.
Huh.
I think this year was supposed to be their 20th anniversary, and they were actually like, "No, we're not doing it." There's a whole lot behind that.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure.
Pitchfork was like the perfect size festival, like right down in Chicago. And then another one I love doing is Hinterland in Iowa. I've met so many friends through there. I have one friend, her name's Jackie, that I meet and only see once a year at Hinterland.
Oh, that's neat.
It's funny because we'll like chit chat all year round. We'll be on social media talking, and then she'll like get in my car to drive down to Iowa because she'll come up from Kentucky. We'll drive down to Iowa together, and it's like no time has passed. And we've made so many memories there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just the fast-paced nature. There's artist after artist after artist that you're photographing, running around taking portraits, doing interviews, trying to enjoy. I'm really type A. So thank you to Chuck for letting me put my pictures exactly how I had planned them, exactly
that's
how I
cool.
wanted, because he did have some other ideas, and I was like,
no,
I had these like very meticulously picked out and planned, and they have to go in this certain order.
Good for you.
And he was more than happy to accommodate. But yeah, I have 3 pictures that are showing. The first one I picked for this show was of Japanese breakfast earlier in May. I had taken a photo from the balcony, so it shows her entire stage design. And that one, I just knew it always sits in the back of my mind. It's one of my favorite photos I've done this year. I knew it had to be in this show.
You knew. Yeah.
And the colors of it are like red and gold and green. So as I was going through and trying to pick pictures, the colors of the Japanese breakfast picture specifically just overruled everything else that I would throw in. So I tried to find pictures that fit into that color scheme. So on the left, you'll have my picture of Tyler, the Creator. I took at Hinterland earlier this year.
That's cool.
And that's very gold toned. Then the Japanese breakfast in the middle. And then to the right is a picture of Hippocampus that I took earlier this year in Grand Rapids. That has more of a green tone. So it all kind of floats together almost as like one image.
Yeah.
Because they're so similar in like color.
That just tells me that you are an artist at heart and creativity. You're not a photographer. You're an artist.
I appreciate that.
I could just the way you're describing that. I'm like, oh yeah, she's an artist, man. Is it harder to kind of do 3 photos rather than if you could use 10, 15, as many as you wanted to create something? Is one harder than the other, thinking from a creative aspect and how you want to display them and have people view them?
Or maybe I would say for this show, it just came very naturally when I started pulling the pictures together.
Fair.
But putting together a larger scale project, I was in Art Prize in Grand Rapids last year.
Cool.
And that was, I think it was like 28 frames. My project focused around queer couples in Grand Rapids. And I had to meticulously put that together as well, and trying to figure out all these pictures I had taken. There were 14 couples, and then each couple was portrayed twice. So you had the picture of the couple was above each other. But then each couple got to write their own quote about their experience being a queer individual or being like outside of a heteronormative lens. So trying to put all of those together and like where I wanted, because the couples had to go together, but then where they went out of all these 28 frames, that took a lot longer to put together and just make sure there was some kind of flow in that aspect. So it really depends. I think it is more challenging when you have 28 pictures you're trying to put together versus 3. So when this just came together, I was like, I'm not going to force it. These look great together. This is what I want. I'm just going to send it off
for sure
and leave it alone.
And I wonder in my head if I didn't word it as well as I wanted to. We talked today with some other artists today. We talked about, being confined to a box or having requirements for something like this or something else. And if that is hard for artists, or some artists find it easier when they have the requirements to work within. Some hate it to death. And like, even if it's as easy as 3 photos to pick out and display, they just can't do it because of this box they're put in, and they feel trapped and they can't do it. Any feel one way or the other around that kind of stuff?
That's hard because I feel like it definitely depends on the
situation. Yeah.
Because when I was at Grand Valley, I did photography. I have a photography minor, and trying to take pictures into like my professor's selected prompt was really hard for me to get inspired, because I would want to take it one way. But I mean, I have a whole thing with art classes in general, because there was art that I took and it was like, these are the greatest pictures I've ever taken, and I get a C on the project. And then the pictures that I would just kind of like throw together and be like, I don't care, A+. And like they like, what was your what did you think when you were doing this? And I was like, nothing, I just wanted this to be done because everything I do enjoy you just crap on.
Oh my gosh,
it's very subtractive. It's very hard.
I mean,
100%.
And that's why Charles Schultz got a C in art class. He made a great cartoon. So it's just the way it is.
Funny enough, there was never any kind of like music or portrait project that we really did where we had like true free reign. So after I graduated, I mean, I'm grateful for the experience. I learned how to use a camera, learned how to do darkroom. But after I was like free of that, it kind of was difficult, but also was really freeing to be like, well, what do I want to do as a photographer? What is my work going to look like? And how am I going to show that to the world? And just knowing I didn't have anybody to put a grade on it, which I guess social media within itself can sometimes have that grading aspect.
Good point.
If it gets out there, if the algorithm likes you that week.
Right. We know that feeling.
Yeah. But just being able to kind of do it in a more free way I love it. It's what
you prefer.
Yeah, 100%.
Would you call it the media pit or the photographer pit? There's lots of different photographers in this close to the band, right?
Yeah.
How do you guys work together or not work together in those situations?
It's different. I mean, if you get, if there's pros up there, usually there's a little tap and, little languages like that of getting around and stuff. Sometimes you're just standing there like, hey, can I get through? Or you know what I mean? Type of thing. But, there's usually enough room around there that you can get around pretty well. But I have been in some tight situations where you're constricted pretty tight.
So there's a little bit of etiquette that should be known, but maybe not known by everyone.
Yeah, I mean, when I first started out, I probably didn't have that etiquette either.
Right, you got to learn it.
I was just excited to be down there, But yeah, there is definitely some etiquette down there, because a lot of like the big shows, you get to shoot like the first 3 songs or whatever, so you're trying to get all your shots in 15 minutes. So you really got to work together with the other photographers, be able to get the different angles moving in front of the stage.
So is that pretty standard? You say big show, it's more the arena shows or a little bit bigger venues. You've got to like typically in a lot of time up front, and that's where all the shots pretty much are happening.
Yeah, unless you're shooting unless the band directly hires you.
Okay.
And they usually let you shoot wherever for the whole show.
Okay.
So there could be a difference on there who you're actually working with, venue, band, or maybe it's even something
magazine or
different.
Or something.
Okay. Yeah, like local spins. We met several photographers that kind of come out. We bump into them. They're local spins. No one's really hiring them other than. Well, I guess I don't know. That's a good question for John, I guess.
Yeah. I've shot for local spins.
Have you? Okay. So yeah, interesting. Very cool.
So that's interesting. There's different aspects of who's photographer, who's there, right? There could be somebody hired by the band, could be some media outlets. And those are the ones, immediate outlet, they're just getting that early shot, right?
Yeah.
Which is really, I always think is interesting. Like, okay, the band's going to give you something, but it's whatever you're getting in those first couple songs.
Right.
That might not be their best.
Yeah, that's why I try to work with the bands directly as much as possible, because a lot of the cool stuff is usually like in the middle or towards the end of the set.
Yeah.
And you really want to get that stuff. So,
Yeah. But I get it. They don't want to crowd up that space all night long.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. What's curious about that? What's the expectation from the person that's hiring in that situation? So let's say Wheels is hiring for the job. How many shots are they really expecting to get out of it?
It depends on let's see. It depends on the event, like, and also the attention span of people on social media. Because like, who's going to click through a gallery of 150 photos?
Yeah.
I could publish a gallery of 150 photos from a show because
Sounds like a waste of time, though.
there's that many interesting things to see, but you're fighting the attention span of Facebook and Instagram. And so 5 to 10 shots is maybe what people might click through. It's what I do, unless I'm looking through something for something specific.
Yeah.
Or someone you really like I love this band.
Yeah,
I love
and
the photographer shooting it. I'm going to look at them all.
Don't get me wrong. There are super fans that love to click through. There's something so exhilarating about the live performance. Those who have been like front row center can kind of relate to what I'm talking about, being 6 feet from your favorite performer, someone legendary like Gene Simmons or Mick Jagger. And you got to pay thousands of dollars for those front row tickets. But for me, working with iHeartRadio and 106.7 Wheels, stations like that have given me the opportunity time and time again to be so close to these just legendary performers. It's unreal what what a camera and my outlets have been able to show me.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a double bonus, right? You get to do what you love
And get paid.
and you get to see you get to be there in the front row.
Yeah. It's I can't thank them enough. It's amazing. And I don't want to let it go. I'm a little bit addicted.
Passion for this. You found it early in life, which is great. And you finally shared it with the world and people are loving it.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I'm just doing what I like to do, and it's cool to see other people enjoy it too. And it's nice to be able to give back to the community and put something back into it, because I know the enjoyment I get out of it. My family goes. 3-year-old loves it.
That's awesome.
That's badass.
So
that's cool.
I could look at what's going on in my neighbor's living room, or I can look at like the bugs on the flowers in my front yard.
Yeah.
And yeah, sketchbook's really versatile, but photography just kind of gives me a direction to go.
Yeah.
It is an interesting thing. Like you said, like walk out your door. Like today you could walk out your door, and tomorrow you could walk out your door and you could see a completely different thing.
Absolutely.
And want to take a different photo of a different, even
Absolutely.
though maybe in reality everything is happening the same, you're seeing something different.
This was awesome. This is good. I love, even though we have talked to another couple photographers today, you were all completely different.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It is so cool.
Yeah. We hit on a lot is like, it is a community and musicians, but photography is a part of that piece that I don't think everybody always thinks about.
I'd never seen a concert photographer until I started doing it. Then they were everywhere, always in my way.
Photography is amazing. I encourage anyone listening to go and buy a camera. You don't know what opportunities it will unlock for you until you have one. It gives you a reason to be places and go meet people if you didn't have one before.
If you like this episode, make sure to subscribe and also check out our website, themittenmusic.com. Sign up for future information and also check out our social clips on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. Make sure to tune into our next episode to figure out where we're going next in Season 5.